talked before the podcast about a very important and interesting topic, which you described as turning pain into purpose.
Mhm.
And so let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, it's no word to explain the loss of a child. There's no definition for that, no word for that. So losing Jared was tragic, and just as I was just going through the process of healing and just day by day, I started reading messages from fans, how his music helped them. And I felt like it was a gap. I felt like they kind of were left alone because he had such a positive message about mental health and anxiety, and he was just so honest. I felt like as his mom, I had a responsibility just to keep that torch going, to keep that conversation going about mental health and mental wellness. So I formed the foundation, Live Free 999, to help those struggling and suffering in silence, to let them know it's okay not to be okay and to get help, just not to suffer alone. So I was motivated by him, and I continue to be motivated by him as his mom, and a mission and keeping his legacy alive by just helping those who are hurting.
One of the things that's interesting about the concept of pain, especially emotional pain, is that so many people see it as something to suppress or to push aside or to avoid. And one of the things that's very tempting about that is that when the pain is intense, like when we've suffered a loss or we're in the context of something like depression or addiction, it really feels so tempting to do that. And if you're okay with it, I'm just kind of curious, how are you able to shift? Because the loss of a child is such a tremendous source of pain, but to be able to shift from that pain into the concept of, well, I want to do something here.
Okay, that's a fair question. Well, it wasn't easy. First of all, we're believers, so my faith helped tremendously, and Jared was a believer as well, so that's assuring for me. But the pain is still real, regardless if I'm a believer or not. It was premature. And it's just day by day. I took it day by day, and I allow myself to have a bad day. I allow myself to say, I'm not really feeling well. Now, the sting of him dying is gone, that part, but it'll always be something there. How can it not be? But I just use it for something positive or something that gives life, something that builds up instead of, tears down. So I just use that energy to help other people. And I allow myself space to have a bad day.
When you're talking about the concept of being a believer and the idea of faith, that's a topic that a lot of people maybe both turn to and struggle with when they're dealing with anything having to do with mental health. Because on the one hand, people will turn to whatever they would believe is a higher power or source of faith. But at times they will also start to question their faith when they're in pain. And that can be a very tricky balance for people. And so if you're comfortable with it, I'm just kind of curious how you understand some kind of a loss like this in the concept of your belief system and how faith has helped you in this context.
Well, my faith was there before it happened, which helped. I didn't develop faith after I lost my son. I walked that way. I lived that life. Doesn't mean you're perfect. And it doesn't mean you don't have pain. It's delusional for people to think if someone is a believer that they don't deal with anything. And I believe in dealing with things directly. I mean, being a believer doesn't mean that I don't live here on earth. It doesn't mean that I don't have real challenges or real struggles or anyone else for that matter. So it's about using wisdom and using the tools that you have to help you. So Jared had therapy when he was in high school. He went weekly. That had nothing to do with faith, but God gives me wisdom to make wise decisions, and I can't say, your faith is going to make your anxiety go away. That's not realistic. We need to. I believe in it's something in the scripture. It says natural, first natural, then spiritual. You have to deal with your natural person that's here, and just the faith part. It gives you that strength. It gives you that focus to pray. Some people meditate, I'll pray. They give you that direction to go in where you're just still and you allow the Lord to lead you. But it does not mean that, you won't experience hurt, pain, rejection. That's what's here. So it helps you navigate through those things, knowing that we believed in God and I believe he's in a better place and he's not struggling anymore. So that helps me. And then, I take it from there, but by no means I can't say, well, because I'm a believer, anxiety or depression, we don't have to deal with. I think you have to confront those things. I think it's delusional for someone to think them just being a believer will take care of those situations.